Penny or Penelope Gulliver, and it was basically, I had both knees done. First one was done very beginning of September, and then 9 weeks later we did the second one, because they reckoned 9 weeks was long enough for me to be mobile enough to withstand the second operation, because the one thing I needed to be able to do was get on a bicycle, which I did after 8 weeks on the first one, after 8 weeks on the second one. We have a long drive, it's tarmac drive, but it's about 120 yards long, and it's so much easier for the post and things like that to just pop on the bike down and bike back up again, which is a slight hill. So very good exercise for physio. Don't quite know why they both knees suddenly decided to get serious arthritis, and saw me so, and he said, well, they're both as bad as each other, so which one should we do first? Sorry, if both knees go, you can't hobble, because which one do you hobble on? And we've got a 20-acre sort of small holding as such. I couldn't even walk across the field. It was crazy, let alone walk up the drive. So I was quite relieved to have them done, very lucky, because it's right in the middle of COVID, and I think because so many people wouldn't have surgery because they were scared of COVID, I was quite happy. Yes, well, you know, might as well go ahead and do it. Well, I suppose I arrived at the Foscote at 8 in the morning, I think. I'd already had a COVID test, a big PCR one, 5 days before, I think, 3 days before. Settled into the room. It was done under not full general anaesthetic, but basically where it's spinal block to numb, but sedation. So in fact, you are more or less asleep, but it's not the full general anaesthetic, because then you recover better. You don't have the after effects of anaesthetic so much. So basically, you sort of float off into sleep, basically, and I don't know how, I think it's about an hour, the operation. Came back, you know, fine, legs all in plaster. Get you out of bed, same day, I think, actually, if I remember. I think the first time I stupidly said, because I'd had tramadol for my back and had no problem, and I think cotopaxine, I think it is, which has some codeine in it. I'm fine on tramadol. We had codeine as a drug, and that I'm not good with, and it makes me feel dizzy and sick. So that was a mistake, so I actually stayed in the 3 nights rather than 2 nights. But I was up and walking, and fine. Everyone was lovely, and hospital wasn't too busy, so that was nice. Yeah, and you didn't actually have an awful lot of time to read or relax, because you were either having Mr. Owen coming to see it, or the physio coming to see it, or you had a meal coming in, or the nurse was helping you get washed, so you're quite busy. You don't get bored. Phil he's very gentle and hands-on, but on the other hand, the gentle one makes you go, and you know, basically, first of all, you're concentrating really on getting your knee bend, and you're just going to get it that little bit further, a bit further. So, yeah, I mean, all physio hurts a little bit, because you are going as far as you can possibly go, and that little bit further. But I wasn't dreading going to physio every time by any means. But then I was having physio, I think we started almost 3 times a week with Phil. It was brilliant, you know, he put me through the paces. Well, I suppose I was on crutches, obviously to start with, 2 crutches. Could get upstairs straight away, slowly. You know, because you make sure you can go up the stairs at the Foscote before you leave. Going upstairs 1 step at a time, slowly, so that's why we had 9 weeks between the operations, so I could get up and downstairs with the new knee before the second one was done. Really, I suppose the only thing that was restricted is the fact the bend to start with is fairly restrictive, because you know you're working to get the knee bending. So to start with, you're fairly straight legged, and gradually you'll get it bent more and more each week with physio. But I mean, it didn't stop me doing housework and anything like that, or cooking.
That's good.
Or looking after the chickens, or, you know, we have chickens and dogs and geese, you know. One was just being careful how you went. You'd be on, I mean, I didn't stay on 2 crutches very long, probably about a week at the most. And then you have 1 crutch, and then you graduate to stick. So by the time you've finished 6 weeks, you're in, unless you know you're going to be in the trickiest place, you dispense with sticks altogether. Certainly consider doing it. It's not a cheap operation, so if you haven't got health cover, it is expensive, there's no doubt about it, but then most surgeries, hips and things are. If you've got health cover, which an awful lot of people do, then I would take advantage and have it done. Because I think your whole quality of life will improve, without a doubt. You know, there's no doubt about it. And to be out of pain, apart from anything else, you know. Because I stopped taking any painkillers probably within about 3 weeks. And possibly even sooner than that. I mean, the Foscote themselves looked after me very, very well, and everyone's very cheerful and kind. But I've been going back to see Phil, ready to keep me on the straight and narrow. Otherwise, I might stop doing exercise. And if you can do the exercises at home, which you will be given, and they will send you through actual video of what the exercises are, not just written on paper. You can actually see it on your computer. You can see the person doing the bending or whatever they're supposed to be doing on that particular exercise, so you don't have an excuse not to do it. It hasn't got to be, well, it wants to be daily to start with, but now I'm finding I do it 2 or 3 times a week. And quite often just generally things in life, you're crouching down to get something, so you're sort of doing it with general housework and things like that. You're doing the exercises anyway. But I think as a patient, you've got to work at it to get the full benefit. I mean, the surgeon's done the brilliant bit. The physio does the brilliant bit afterwards, get it all supple and working, getting the muscles working. But if you don't put your homework in yourself, you're not going to benefit from the operation. So if you work at it yourself and do the homework, the benefits will be even bigger.